Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Soy and I'm a UX designer at Google. In one of my previous videos, I promised to make a Ask Me Anything video. So today I would like to answer some of the frequently asked questions about how to create and present a UX portfolio. And I would also love to share some career advice with you. I have previously made a few videos to talk about best practices of creating and presenting portfolios. So if you're interested in those videos, make sure you check them out. On my channel, I am dedicated to all things about UX job interviews and product design. So if you're interested in this content, make sure you hit the bell button and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss my future content. I'm also offering one-on-one career coaching. So if you're looking for more interview advice, you want to do a mock interview, or just talk about career development in general, feel free to use the link down below and sign up a session. Follow me on Instagram if you want to reach out to me or learn more about what I do outside of work. My Instagram handle is SoyDesign_Picks. If you're into fashion and jewelry and are looking for OOTD inspirations for professional and social occasions, definitely check out SoyDesign Picks, a designer jewelry website where you could find fabulous collection of fine jewelry for every occasion. No matter if you're looking to wear jewelry that would make you look professional at work or picking party-ready jewelry, SoyDesign Picks has everything you need. Okay, let's start with the first question. Can I include my current job's project in my portfolio without sounding that I'm looking for another job? A lot of designers have such concerns because of NDA. NDA stands for non-disclosure agreements. It's basically something you would sign in an offer letter contract whenever you join a new company. Your NDA restricts your ability to share confidential information relating to your work. So what can you do with NDA if you want to show your current job's project in your UX portfolio? First of all, you can check what exactly is required in NDA. Is it just that you cannot share any confidential company data, or you cannot share anything related to this project at all? Knowing specific terms in NDA is going to help you decide how you can legally share your work. If you're having trouble to understand terms in NDA, you can reach out to HR at your company and quote them to interpret the NDAs. For visuals, usually you won't be able to post any visual designs of work that isn't public yet. This can be difficult, especially if the project you worked on never got shipped. My advice would be double check what visuals are public today. You can actually log on to the product as a customer and then see what are some visuals you can use from there. And also don't forget to check the marketing website of this product, and maybe you'll be able to also find some useful visuals on that marketing site. It's always good practice to clearly communicate to visitors on your portfolio website that a project is under NDA if it is indeed protected by NDA terms. In this example from Eric, in the overview section, he explains that unfortunately, due to privacy reasons, I cannot show the bulk of my work that I did at Facebook. If a project is protected by NDA, it's good practice to communicate that this project is under NDA in the beginning section of this case study, so that you are helping audiences to manage their expectations. Let's take a look at some of the things you can mention in your portfolio as public information. What your role was, what your team structure was like, what your design process was, what your deliverables were, what you learned, or any challenges you faced. Here's an example from C. She talked about her design process on a high level and her contributions, and she also presents the success metrics, her key takeaways, and learnings. This is a good example of following NDA while also presenting information to help others understand her process and thinking. And if people have additional questions about what they see in her portfolio, they can always reach out to her to follow up. Here's the second question I would like to answer today, and this is a very interesting one. How can I create a case study if I didn't do a lot of user research in the process? I understand that there are a lot of different types of company and they would work on projects in many different ways. Some companies have very established processes of working with UX researchers, product managers, and engineers, and they do have the resources to hire all these cross-functional stakeholders to support projects. Other companies might not have the resources to hire that many people, And it's likely that a designer would have to wear multiple hats and thus user research, design, and validation all by themselves. And I know some companies might be more business driven, so the product decisions primarily rely on business strategy and insights. So, as you can see, companies have different ways of building products. As UX designers, how can we tell a good story around advocating for users and a business, regardless of what type of companies we work at? First of all, I would say that regardless of how much user research you did in a project, you would still need to clearly communicate to audiences who are the target users in this project that you're presenting and what are the user problems you solved. And then when it comes to talking about how you and your team identify user problems, you could honestly present what were the approaches you took to understand the user problems and why there are problems that needs to be solved. The approaches do not necessarily have to be a one-on-one user interviews or any type of formal user research methodology. It could be a marketing analysis, user data analysis, competitor analysis, or doing an audit on current experiences. The most important thing is to show your design process by clearly communicating to audiences, given the current constraints. How do you decide which approach to take in order to understand the user pain points? And how do you leverage the user insights and user pain points you have previously identified to inform your design explorations? It's not necessary to fake it if you didn't do a lot of user research in the actual process, as long as you're telling the audiences what are the constraints, what is the team structure, why you choose certain approaches to study the users, and how you leverage the key takeaways from these studies to inform the design explorations. You are helping the audiences to understand your design process and how you would solve problems under constraints. The third question that I got asked very often is how many projects should I include in my UX portfolio and how should I choose which projects to showcase? I would recommend to include at least 3 projects and show a variety of different design skills. For example, let's say you're applying for a UX position. You could have one primary project to showcase your design process of designing an end-to-end user experience of a product. And then in your second project, you could showcase your design skills of designing for a different platform. If your primary project is a desktop project, then you could present your mobile design skills in your second project and vice versa to show that you have experience designing excellent UX across different platforms. In your last project, you could consider showing a UI-focused case study, such as creating or contributing to a design system or creating visuals for branding to show that you are a well-rounded designer. And do prioritize projects that showcase your real work experience because compared with school projects, people are more interested in learning about how you would tackle challenges in a real work settings. So that leads to the fourth question that I always get asked. How do I gain real work experience? A lot of mentees mentioned to me that they didn't have any past internship experience or other types of real work experience. All the projects they have are school projects and passion projects. I understand that in the current competitive market, especially when the economy is not doing so well, it is very challenging to find an internship or a full-time job, especially for entry-level designers. But the good news is that regardless of how the market is doing, there's always a way to gain real work experience. A real work experience is not limited to internship or full-time job. Part-time job, contractor job, and freelance are all considered as real work experiences. Besides keeping an eye on mainstream job searching platforms such as Indeed and LinkedIn, you could also easily find a lot of freelance, part-time, and contractor jobs are actively hiring on sites like Fiverr, Upwork, and TopTo. So don't constrain your job search only among internship and full-time jobs if you really need real-work projects in your portfolio. Apply for any types of work you can find and then incrementally build up your portfolio with real-work projects. You will become more and more competitive with these real work experiences. Eventually, one day, you would land your dream job. The other tip I would like to share with you is that you can actually develop your passion project into a real work project. And here's how. For example, you could either work by yourself or work with a group of friends who know coding and marketing to build a product together, and then launch the product to the public to gain real business and user insights. This type of side project could be fun and definitely gives you a good opportunity to understand all aspects of a product. And you will be able to define the vision and requirements of this product and then work on designing an end-to-end user experience. A real work side project creates a lot of portfolio artifacts and would help you to demonstrate your design process and thinking in a very impactful way. Okay, so this is the first Ask Me Anything video, and I do plan to create a few more Ask Me Anything videos to answer some of the commonly asked questions. So if you have questions, please post them down below in the comment and I'll try my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and please give this video a thumb up if you think this is helpful. If you have any topics that you're interested in, please comment it down below or let me know on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.